raise of hands. Let's get back to it. Anybody has dealt with second-time home buyers?
So we had Burgess and Tracy raise their hands already. If anybody else wants to, now Paul is here so he can see you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
sure.
Jules as well. Yes, great.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Jen, I'm still going to ask you to help me to facilitate and share the screen. So
Okay.
we'll go one slide at a time. Thank you. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'm trying to do that. Right. Okay, but wait. I think I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you guys tell me if Jen, you could back off on that, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I have it here. Um, if you guys tell me if you're seeing my screen where it says, do you see it? Working with second home buyers? Or?
No, don't.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you go. I'm trying to broadcast one more time. And now you should, it's loading. I've
Um,
moved. It's coming? Yes?
It's
yeah,
loading, Paul.
yeah, we see, but it's loading. Yeah, let's see
Okay.
what's happening.
Mhm. All right. My internet here is terrible. So let's stop it. Jen, bring it on. Let's go forward. Thank you very much, guys. Bring those slides up. Thank God you are here, Jen, because I tell you. So, working with second time home buyers, what are they, right? You've got your regular buyers that are here in your community, and you're dealing with these people that's probably referred to you, or you met at your church, or you met at the supermarket, or whatever it is, it seems to be a little bit more intimate. But these second time home buyers or second home buyers, people that have a home in another state or another province or something like that, can be a little bit challenging. So, how do you deal with that? And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, I always, I'm very interactive. So, I like to know from the audience of three people, like, can you come and introduce yourself? What's your name? Where are you working? What city? What country? What state? And have you dealt with any second home buyers or in the past or currently? So while you're doing that, Jen, please turn this into at the bottom. Let it be a slide. Just note one slide at a time. So your bottom right, I believe it would be play.
This one.
Yeah. No, I believe bottom
No.
right.
Oh, did. Okay.
Play it. Yeah. Thank you. Well, you want to play? Okay. So is anyone coming up here, Bianca? Bianca, are we there? Hello?
Oh,
Mic check.
sorry, I forgot to I forgot to unmute myself. Sorry. Tonight it's all about technical issues. So yes, I gave Burgess, Julius, and Tracy the ability to talk. They were the ones who raised hands that they are worked with second home buyers before. So you can all now unmute yourself, and we can go in alphabetic order. Maybe Burgess first. You can unmute yourself, and if you want to tell us more about your experience working with second home buyers.
Yeah. Tell us about that. That's we want to know that. So go ahead. First person. Because what I'm trying to do here is I want
Ah,
to distinguish. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. Burgess doesn't have a mic. Okay, you can also chat in. We're gonna read it. So Julius, or Eulis, not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I see you're unmuted. You can talk. Tell us about your experiences.
We're not hearing them, right? Julius, we don't hear.
No. Julius, are you
Mm.
there?
All right, let's move on to someone else. Julius, if you do chime in, just interrupt us while you get your technology together. All right, next person. What we're looking for is what is your definition of a second home buyer? Who are you, where you're from? What's your definition of a second home buyer? That's what we want in the session as we go forward. Next person, please.
Jules, we can actually hear you. You want to talk? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go with somebody then random from the audience. Maybe Shauna. Shauna, welcome. Hey, Shauna.
Hi, Sean. Hi. The technology is their mics, so they're not able to talk.
Tonight,
Guys, yeah.
today nothing's going on. I'm like, okay.
Anything in the
Umer.
chat.
Okay,
Let them
Umer is here. Umer is here and he wants to talk. So here you
go.
go. Sorry. Umer, are you there?
I'm
Umer?
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Finally. Yes.
So, second home buyer, like as I understand, means who has already bought one home in his lifetime, and now they want to buy a second house, or they want to upgrade or downgrade, something like that.
No, what we're looking at is a second home is the word that it is. So imagine, Umar, you live in Ottawa. You've got this house, you and your family bought it 2013. Today you woke up with your family say, "Oh my gosh, we should get a second home in Fort Lauderdale. Let's go down there and go see a second home." A second home. Or, "Oh my gosh, family, let's go buy a second home in Toronto or England." It's usually pretty far from your current home. Or in the countryside. Okay, we're in the city of Ottawa. Let's go buy a second home in the countryside of Ottawa. The suburbs. You're in the city, let's go to the suburbs.
No,
Second home.
I haven't handled any for a second home buyer then.
Yes, a second home. Second home buyers. Like not in particular, like this is the second time they're buying a home. It's
Not
like
as
a
an
second home.
investment property.
Yeah, okay, that's great. That definition is great because that's one type of second home buyer. They buy it, their motivation is for investment, their
Yes.
motivation is for lifestyle. We're going to get through that. You're going to see that. This is phenomenal, Umar. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. We need one more person because look at what we discovered in this session. The mind, what Umar is thinking is something a little bit different. So we really want to define it. Chat it. If you're here and you want to learn the right way to deal with a second home buyer, chat it. Tell us what's your
Do you,
definition of it.
excuse me, do you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Julius.
Okay. Okay. Hi, how are you? I think that I live in Florida, so what I think about the second home is that because of the weather, many people come here, from the north because of the weather, so they're looking for a second home. So, and in that way, they can spend a season, the whole season, sometimes the 6 month, 5 month, 4th month. And they are happy here because they are enjoy that place, the weather, the warm, and something different. And so then they are ready to go back after that, having that. So
The
some of them they buy a home, buy some rent for a seasonal and rental. They look for a seasonal rentals, and but many Canadians, people from New York, from New Jersey, they buy here a second home because they like to be
makes
here
sense.
the whole season.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's
There
a
you
very, it's
go.
a very good investment. And for them,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they can rent it for as a off-season rentals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's a
There
good
you
thing.
go.
Yeah.
Yes, Julius, thank you so much. That's a great definition.
Thank
Thanks for shaping. All right, Sharon. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And go ahead.
So Burgess wrote in the chat. So, and this is very important, I think, because I think you're going to be talking about this as well, Paul. But Burgess is saying, I have a lead who has already bought the property 2 years back. Now, as he sees that the prices are low, he wants to buy another property, but he's having difficulty to get a mortgage because his first property has no equity. He has to put down 20%. He has 80 to 100K. I don't know what to do. So this is a very actionable question.
All right, all right. So Burgess, I hope I pronounced it correctly. You definitely, we're going to answer your question right now. This is a wonderful thing. And yes, Bianca, I am going to go through that in the slides to come. You will see this. So Burgess, stick around. So when you say you don't know what to do, number one, you want to talk to your client and you want to ask him, what do they want to see in the second home? You need to find that burning desire. Is it a lifestyle thing? Is it an investment thing? Find out what they're wanting. Then, secondly, find out what they need in order to do that. And they might not know what they need. So you have to get your vendors, you have to get your partners, a lender, you have to get somebody involved, a lender that can, you explain to them, this person wants this because of this reason. And then he has or she has $82,000. What can they get? And that lender can help to facilitate that. But for you to make this happen, watch the rest of the slides because it all coincides. Because you have this lead right now, that doesn't mean that boom, slam, bam, you're going to close it so easily. Because they disclose to you this, they could easily just run away if they don't get the right answers. Jen, the next slide. Let's get into this, Bianca. This is beautiful. We've got some definition. Let's run through the slides, okay? And this is brought to you by Successful Business Academy and Agent Locator. We typically would have the logo of Agent Locator on it. Unfortunately, Jen's version doesn't have it, but the other version does. So, understanding the second home buyer. They typically, as a buyer, have a longer decision-making timeline. They're not that person or persons that have that sense of urgency that they have to get into this home right now because the kids start school in September. They have to get into this home because they're moving closer to their elder parents. They have to get into this home because they've just got relocated to this location. No, 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 no. Second home. That means they already have one. They already have a beautiful living room, a beautiful couch. They love it. They've got everything they want in their first home. Now they're thinking about a second home. So they have money. They have, think about it. They have the ability to do this. And that's why they're coming to you. So not only do they take a little bit longer to make a decision, but they do have higher expectations of you and of the market and what it is that they're thinking and wanting to buy. So it's very important that you're aware of these type of buyers. They're also emotional and investment goal oriented, right? They're very emotional, right? And how they deal with their second home, the next property that they're going to buy. They typically have multiple decision makers. So, when we talk about selling skills and we build a rapport and we find out what they're what they want and need. And then we also say, hey, I wonder, is there any authority to buy here? Who else needs for me to get involved with? Who else do I need to get involved with? So there's multiple decision makers. So I'll tell you a quick short story, and Jen knows it. We have a buyer right now, Mr. John S. I can't call his last name. We've had him in our database for years. He's coming out of, I think, Washington, D.C. or New Jersey, because I was stationed there in the military. We have a great rapport. He came down and looked at some very expensive condos about a month ago, and he picked out about two. And it's been like over a month now. He still communicates. He's still asking little questions here and there, but they're not very quick on moving forward. Secondly, when he did come, he came alone. And I said to him, is your wife coming? He said, no, I'm going to come on this trip alone. So I had him and I'm showing him around. What do I do? I say, okay, are you good with technology? Because he's older guy. He says, yeah. I said, let's get the wife on the video. Let's get her FaceTime. You like this one? Let's get it for her. Some of the times he couldn't get a hold of her. What do I do? Oh, you know what, John? Let me do a video for her. So I went through the front door and I come to. So, when you have these elements of multiple decision makers, think smart. And we're going to get more into the sale of it. But I want to just put that in your mind. They typically have financing complexities. What does that mean? Means just what Bajeas was saying. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Don't kill me if I didn't. And the person already have a primary home, they're looking to buy a second home. You need to know the financing ins and outs, and we're going to talk about that. They could be out of state and they are used to certain lifestyles, and you need to learn that. It's very important, right? What they're looking for. Vacation dream homes mixed with financial goals. We have clients out of Washington, D.C. I can't call her last name, but she's a dear client for years. This lady has bought, man, at least 3 or 4 different properties with us over the past 5 years. And her situation is she works for the government and she lives in Washington, D.C. And she comes to us and we help her to buy a property that she could rent out and she could stay in. So it's a mixed use, for her vacationing and for her financial goals. It helps to pay for itself. We have another client in Mexico. I'm dealing with her right now. We got an offer today. I can't call her name again. She has a beautiful apartment on the 14th floor overlooking the ocean, loves it, doesn't want to get rid of it, but wants us and hired us to make sure that we can help her to pay the financial goals for that, the taxes and HOA fees. So these are things that we're going to get into. Next slide as we move along. Understanding the second home buyer. So what is the next slide about? Well, what motivates the second home buyer? And that's important because if you can't understand what motivates them, it'll be hard for you to close them. They typically are motivated by a lifestyle, and that's what Julius was talking about earlier, and the beach, the golf, the family, the restaurant. All of these things come in place. I have a set of clients right now that I'm dealing with. I've never seen such a tight-knit family. I mean, oh my gosh. If I'm with them 2 hours, they are chatting with other families in other parts of the world that they're from in like every 15 minutes. I'm like, what? Like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Like, I don't even talk to my kids that much. But, people are tight and you need to really understand that. So why did I pick family in here? Because these buyers are out there and you must be able to tap into that. And how do you do that? We're going to talk about that as we move forward. Investment type of buyer, they want rental income. They want to know that they can get an income from it. So you have to do some analysis for them. They want to know that I often get questions like, okay, Paul, well, I like this unit. And if I bought it now, let's say in 5 years from now, Paul, what can I expect to sell it for? I get that question often. Okay, they're asking 700,000, Paul. If I gave them 680, what do you think I could sell it for in about 5 years? How do you respond to that? Do you know the trend of your market? I know in South Florida, I could answer that very easily. I've been here 23 years. A buyer can typically expect 3% and up to 22% appreciation in equity on a property annually. 3% and as high as 22%. And it depends on the different pockets. That's crazy. South Florida is crazy. Minimum 3%, as high as 22%. And I could show the data. So you should know that data too. And how do you learn that? By looking in your MLS. Let's sidetrack a little bit. You jump in your MLS and you look at sales 3 years ago for one subdivision, and then you compare it to now. Or you go to your MLS board, like I did, and they have what's called facts and trends, and they'll tell you or you know what? Technology today. Ask ChatGPT. In my community, in my area as a realtor, what is the average trend since the past 10 years in appreciation? If you can get that data, you should know it. Be advised. Tax advantages. Some investors want to know that they've sold a property in Texas and they do not want to incur any taxes on it, capital gains. So they might come to you for a second home in where you are, Florida or Canada or Miami and New York, wherever you are. And they would say, listen, I want to do a 1031 exchange. 1031 exchange. That's a whole big ball of wax. But there is a closing company or closing agents and title companies and attorneys that can refer you to these different companies that will help you to do a 1031 exchange. So you should be privy with that. If you're not, we can help you to facilitate these things. Just link and connect with us. Hybrid buyer. The hybrid buyer does care about the lifestyle, the golf, the beach, family, retirement, but they also just equally care about the investment of it. I've had those too. Oh, I love this beach. I love this condo. I love this unit. Man, the grocery store is right there. Everything's right. But I'm really wondering, in 5 years, can I get a good 10% increase on my equity each year? 5%, 7%. Yeah, can I rent it out, Paul? How much can I rent it out for when I'm not here? How much can it pay for my mortgage payment? That's called a debt service, right? If you bought a property and you have a mortgage on it, that's called a debt service if you didn't pay cash. So as an investor, they're going to mention to you that, if I have a debt service on it, what would be my ROI, return on investment? Next slide. So you have to find out what motivates the buyers, and you need to know that when they're buying a second home. The 5 challenges that you have to deal with when you're dealing with a second home buyer. And they are, number 1, long search process. So how can you shorten it, right? If they're searching, why are they searching? Because number 1, they're a little bit afraid. They don't know who to trust. They don't know who to believe in. So if you understand their psyche and where they're coming from, and you're a rational thinker, put yourself in their shoes, you can perhaps relate to them in a most effective way. But it's a long search. I've had buyers from out of town that would come and they would say, Paul, I want a red socks, brown shoes, and a pink tie for my second home. Lo and behold, I show them exactly that. Red pants, this blue pink tie. I show it exactly. They can't believe it. Oh my goodness, Paul, right? Oh, this is just our second showing, and you did it? I still want to see more. What do? You're like, oh my gosh, And I try to explain to them that, listen, I pay attention to your details, and you said to me that you wanted open plan. You wanted a backyard, you wanted to be close to the beach, and you wanted to be rentable and low HOA. That's what you told me, right? And yeah, so please believe me and trust me that we could make the offer today. Because you see, I've got Jen and I've got Heather, I've got a staff, I got a team, and it's not just me. So I put it together. When you tell me and you tell us that you're coming to buy, it's like 5 different people all over it. And that's how I get to close these deals so fast. Now, I'm not trying to show off or anything, but I think you can get resources by partnering up or working late, working long hours, because they take long. The more you give them, the faster you can close them. Number 2, out of town buyers. These are challenges. As I mentioned earlier, not only do they want to search long process because they want to see if anything out there, they see the great ideal thing and they're like, oh my gosh, I wonder if there's anything better. They have that attitude. But they also are away from you. You can't sit with them and go have a cup of coffee. You can't invite them over to your office to just have a chat. You can't even invite them to dinner, because I do that too, to get to know them a little bit more. They're kind of out there. But there's some tools that you could use, and I'm going to talk about that as we continue on. They have also as a challenge, you have a challenge of having to deal with financing complexities. Some finances, if they're out of the country, it could be 30% financing, but you need to know that. You should be checking with your lender, who you partner with, or lenders. You could have more than one, and know these things and be able to connect the out of town buyer to the lender. The location, education on the location. They're not sure. They see as they, how can you help them when they first look at a property? I stand in the front of the house or the condo and I do a 360. I don't just pull up and run inside the house. I stand every time my out of towner comes, I just have this protocol. All right, here's number one. Here's number two. We see number two house. It doesn't matter number one, number two. As soon as we pull up, if it's hot, cold, I don't care. I have my napkin, I'm wetting my face, and I'm doing a 360. I'm like, oh, wow, look at that house down there. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Okay. Oh, look at the block. I don't make comments like, oh my gosh, that kind of looks bad. I have no negative comment. I'm only speaking positive. Oh, wow, look at that tree down there. That's a big tree. That's a royal poinsettia. That's so beautiful, right? So these things are important. Jen, be careful what you're doing, please. Number 4 is location. Well, we talked about that already. Number 5 is the ROI of expectations. What is that? Return on the investment. Your reinvestment on your expectations of closing the deal. Are you getting a good ROI on it? So you put out this times and you're like, oh my gosh, are they ever going to buy? Yes, they will. And let me tell you one thing that I learned over 23 years with second home buyers. It's like glue. They stick to you like glue. You become like their family. They don't go to any other realtor for buying, for maintaining, for referring. It's like this family. They always, when they want to sell, they call you, you sell it. When they want to rent it, you manage it, you do it, you rent it. All kinds of stuff happens. So these are challenges, but the challenges can also be a wonderful opportunity. Next slide, please. We're doing real good. And we're going to have a Q&A at the end. All right. Being their local expert. This is what happens when you just give them an impeccable customer service platform to land on. That's you, your staff, you, your assistant, you, yourself, your vendors, people you partner with. So you want to sell the area, right? Where are you working? Not just the home, you have to sell the area. You have to educate your clients on so many things. For example, you need to tell them about the neighborhood, but you're not just pushing something on them as a car salesman. Remember, I wrote the book, The 5 Steps of the Sale. And in sales, I believe and I know for over 30 years that there's 5 unique steps. Step 1 is conversation. I build a rapport, I get connected, I get them to trust me, believe in me, and I find out what their want, need, and DBM is. Step 2 is curiosity. I make them curious that what they want and need, I can deliver it. Step 3 is conviction. And that's where I give my presentation of what they want and what they need. And it's so compelling that they automatically skip step 4, which is objection handling, and they go to step 5 and close all on their own. That is the 5 steps to the sale: conversation, curiosity, conviction, desire, and close. So it's my selling technique for 3 decades. I love it. My students love it. My colleagues love it. The people, Jen knows it. My staff knows it. And people that I coach day in, day out, we use it. And you must have something like it, if not it itself, in understanding that you need to sell the individual on the neighborhoods, the beaches, the restaurants, the golf, shopping, future developments, rental restriction, HOA. But you don't have to go through all of this. The most important part in me having this slide is you need to become their local expert. But human beings, people, they have a want and they have a need. And in your selling skills, you should find that out. That's what we call a fact find. You have to find that out. It's like a date. You go on a date. You're a human being, aren't you? Man, woman, you date someone. Your husband, your wife, whatever, partner, whatever it is. You dated someone and you sat down and you said, "Oh, what? Do you like chocolate? Do you like to go to the beach?" It's the same thing with a customer. What do you like? So what brings you down here to South Florida? What brings you here to Ottawa? Oh, you like the snow? Okay. Oh, good. What else do you like? So many times I get when my client comes down from up north to buy the second home and I'm gelling with them, I get a feel of like, hey, I'm bonding. So I'm walking up the ramp or whatever, and I'm just saying to them, like, hey, so when you're really off back home and just relaxing, what do you like to do up there? Oh, we got this great country club, man. We go golfing and, I just love being with the family. I get it. You got to get it out of them and become their local experts. So you have to match it up. What they're wanting, you need to display that in the neighborhoods, beaches, and all of these things here. Next slide. Help the buyers focus faster, right? Let's dig a little bit deeper now. We've talked about the second home buyer is a particular type of people. They need financing. You need to know what they want. You need to know how to present it to them. But you should have powerful questions to ask them. What are powerful questions? Powerful questions is something that will help them to focus and being faster on closing the sale. And that's what you want. You ask them question like, what is your ideal lifestyle? And I just started to tell you that. And you need to be able to share your own lifestyle with them in a most authentic and true way. I will say to a client, I say to them, hey, so when you're home and you're not working or anything, what do you like to do? And they start to tell me. And then I tell them, oh my goodness, wow, you know what I like to do? I like to go to Blue Jeans Blue down there and I listen to the jazz. I just sit at the bar, I have a club soda, I just, or a cocktail, and I just chill or I take friends over. I like to go to yoga. I like to run. I like to walk the trails. Be real and talk about your lifestyle. I like to drive my car with my top down and just gel with them. What is their ideal lifestyle? You have to find that out. How often will they visit the property or the home that they're getting? This is good to know because it starts to open up where your mind can go with them. How often you plan to be here? While you're not here, do you think you want to rent it out? Because I have a great marketing system to find a tenant for you while you're not here. If the association would allow it, or if there's no association, it's even better. I've had clients said to me, Paul, I'm not going to be here, but only 4 months out of the year. The other 8 months, thank you very much. You want to help me to do Airbnb on it? But I don't want anybody in my bed. I don't want anybody using my blanket. I just wanted to sit there, but can you check on it for me once in a while? Yeah. Initially, I check on it, and then after about a year, they know the neighbor, and they don't call me anymore to check on it because when I call them, hey, you good? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The neighbor next door, they're checking on it for us while we're up here. But I maintain that relationship still. Quite interesting. Rental income is important to them or not. The condo, do they want a condo or they want a single family? What's the difference between the two? Obviously, the condo have some restriction. Single family, I always say, do you like planting stuff and being in the garden? Condo, you can interact with other people. Distinguish between the two. Waterfront. If you have a boat, you plan on buying a boat? I'm dealing with a client right now. They're coming out of Boston and they got a 35 footer. So they need something on the water, and the price is like ridiculous. But you have to understand that the husband wants it, the wife could care less, but they're gonna split the bill. Waterfront, they need it. Walkability. Some people will come down and they're like, you know what, I just want to walk to wherever I have to go. So you have to know where to budget, flexibility, find out the range. And but these questions are powerful, and you should write that down or screenshot that. That is a powerful questions, like 6, 7 powerful questions to ask a buyer that will help you to close the deal faster. Next slide. Very good. And we're coming up on the Q&A. Next slide. Thank you, Jen. You're doing amazing. All right. So technology. I talked to you earlier about how to find out who else is involved in the sale. I call it the authority to buy. Are there other people involved, other decision makers? You could do Zoom consultations. I do it. We all have a Zoom free 30 minutes. You need 30 minutes just to connect with them. You want to dress properly. You want to make sure you look good. You're in at a nice backdrop there. It's nice and quiet and safe for them to open up to you. No distractions. And get to know them. Let them see your face. I've done it a ton of times. Ton of times. Virtual tours. Oh my goodness. Am I the guy for that? And so are you, perhaps. But disclosures and opening up these avenues and these technology mm, platforms that we have to your clients builds trust quickly, because you're killing them with information. You are bombarding them with information. You're seeing the tile. And I do a virtual tour on a client that's up in Pennsylvania, and I'm looking at something for them. When I walk in the front door, I'm like, I take the camera, bend down, and I take the camera and say, oh, yeah, wow, this looks like porcelain tile. Oh, this looks like marble. Oh, this look. I go straight up to the ceiling. Oh, we got popcorn on the ceiling. It looks pretty good. But if you need it off, I could get someone to take it off. So, you have to use what you have. Virtual tour, FaceTime walkthroughs, drone videos. If you have a listing that has that capability on there, point it out to them. If it's an unbranded version, digital neighborhood videos. We just signed up for a new platform. I won't call any names, but the platform is phenomenal. It gives our clients like a 3D virtual tour inside of all the listings that we have. We have multiple listings, and it gives them aerials on every one of our listings. And so that's great stuff. Digital signatures, we all do that. But sometimes when you talk to your clients, you need to tell them in the consultation that everything is going to be easy. You don't need to come down here after you select a property. You could fly back up and we could do everything over the phone. Closing, we can send a notary to your house in New Jersey. Next slide. So it's very easy for you to understand that technology is your helper. Financing matters. If you need help, there's a QR code. Connect with us. We can help you to put all of this together. Know the basics of conventional loans, jumbo loans, investment loans. Cash buyers, obviously, they always win, right? Cash is king. Foreign national buyers, typically it's 30%. I have clients in Jamaica. I have clients who want to buy in Jamaica because I'm Jamaican right now. There's a lot of people migrating there. You're so welcome, John. Thank you so much for your time. And so I know in Jamaica right now, I deal with 2 banks, JN, Jamaica National, and Scotiabank. And we have clients that are migrating from New York, England, all over the place, going back to Jamaica. So I partnered with Scotiabank, and guess what? It's 30% down. 30% down. And if they can show their income, they can get, and it's the same in America. The lenders I have here, if you want to buy, is 30% down. So partner with your lenders who specialize with foreign nationals or out of towners. Second home, people that wants to buy second home. I love my finance people because I have this motto with them. I said, listen, if I'm calling you, I have about 3 or 4 of them. If I'm calling you, I'm not calling you to chit chat. Pick up the phone. So I will call, let's say, Michelle. She doesn't answer. I'll call Arnold. He picks up. Boom, great. But if he doesn't answer, I'll call another one and I'll get someone while I have him on the phone. Live transfer, we call it. Financing matters, know about financing, but most importantly, build your real estate practice around being able to do a live transfer. You got the client on the phone, then you're going to transfer them to the lender right away and answer the question. Next slide, and I think that's it. All right. Thank you, Jen. The next slide over, please. All right. Selling the ROI, the return on your investment. Well, when you're dealing with a second home buyer, you want to tell them that the good thing about buying in your neighborhood is that there will be some appreciation, but you need to be able to really show that. There is rental demand. You should be able to show that. You can have occupancy, right? High occupancy rates because you can able to show that. Insurance are a little bit cheaper in this county versus that county. You should be able to show that. HOA fees are lower here compared to the three homes we saw today. This is the lowest one. Property taxes, maintenance. I've got a guy named Jose that's going to cut your grass. He's very reasonable. I've got another pool guy named Pinch a Penny that will do it. They're a national company. And most important, what is that second home buyer exit strategy? I always like to give them two and be honest about it. I said, you know what? This particular home that you're buying right now, or condo or townhome, it allows for you to rent immediately. Remember the last one we just saw? They said we can't rent for 2 years. So if you choose this one, you can rent it immediately. If you're not here, we can rent it out. If the other one, I know you like the other one, but what's your exit strategy here? Talk to them about that. That builds trust when you're in line with their return on their investment. You're not just there to make a sale. Next slide. That's awesome. Good stuff. Let's wrap it up. Good stuff. Teach your buyers that. Now, two more slides here. Your post-purchase package. You want to tell them, listen, when you deal with me, I have contractors. I have property managers. As a matter of fact, I'm a property manager myself, but only for my clients. I don't do it on a big scale. You can tell them that because I do that. I could collect the rent for you, get it sent over to your Zelle. If something breaks in the middle of the night, I'll take the call for you. Stay in bed. Customer service. And I charge, normally it's 10% of the monthly rent. I'll do it for 7%. I'll do it for 8%, whatever it is. And if you look in your MLS forms, you can find property management agreements. Check it out. Housekeeping, I have like 3 or 4 different housekeepers that I can connect them with. Insurance contacts, oh my gosh, I got Jessica, I got Jason Reed up there, United Insurance. Utilities, we always connect them, send them a link for the water, the electricity. They don't know these things. Restaurants, they always ask me, Paul, where's a good place to eat tonight? No, ask, what do you feel like? You want Italian? You want this? Oh, I want to be somewhere on the beach. Oh my gosh, you need to go to Toulouse. You know what? I just went over to Prime Catch up in there. These things, medical providers, right? You got to get connected. My doctor is such and such. The hospital is low waiting time over there. Maintenance calendar. Tell them to put things on their calendar, like when it's due. And if you're managing it for them, then you can tell them that. And now to the next slide. That's your post package, and you should let them know that what they are expecting to get. Becoming their lifetime advisor is what you want to do, and we mentioned that earlier. You can give them quarterly market updates. You can give them property reviews. You can give them investment opportunities. If there's new construction coming into play, you should tell them about it. Rental income reviews. We have clients right now that are having their property with us, and we need to review it and draft a lease for them and help them get another tenant or stick with the current tenant. Refinancing opportunities, referral appreciation. I talk about that. When a repeat customer comes back to me, I typically tell them. I don't do it in the beginning. I do it at the end. After we go through everything and I see how their behavior are, I just tell them at the end. I say, "Listen, congratulations on behalf of PR and Company Realtors. We're going to send a letter to the title company. We're giving you a $700 buyer rebate. We're giving you a $1,000 buyer rebate. We are giving you a 499, 699. We're waiving this fee. I appreciate you so much." But I don't do it in the beginning. I do it towards the end. Why? Because I just like to be that way. Sometimes I could make it higher, sometimes I make it lower. It depends. If we all work so hard, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys bust our backs. Or we work so little, it doesn't matter. Next, become their local and their lifetime advisor. Very, very important, right? All that is very important. Next slide, next slide, next slide. All right, thank you. Second home buyer formula. Right, look at this chart. It's going to tell you have to educate them, you build trust, you simplify decisions, help them simplify decisions, you deliver exceptional service, you want to stay connected, and you got to earn that referral. Very good stuff. I won't go all in detail because we just did that. So, summarizing, these are the things that you need to do when you're dealing with a second home buyer. It's a great formula. Next slide, Jen. Thank you so much. You've been phenomenal. Final thoughts. And Bianca, we open up the mic. We have 5 minutes to close this out, 7 minutes. What is your takeaway? Julius, she came and spoke earlier. The Beamers, I mispronounced the name, person that had the $80,000 client money. Give us some feedback. What did you learn, if anything? What is your takeaway right now? Because when you're working with a second home buyer, it's about helping the clients invest in a lifestyle that creates memories and build wealth. So you educate before you sell. You build trust before asking for commitment. All right. And you connect with the client so you could have a long time relationship with them. The clients that I deal with right now, I'm telling you, it's been 5 years or 10 years, 15 years in some cases. How do you do that? You really should know how to deal with people and have a positive mindset. So now go ahead. Tell me, questions. Who have a question? Anybody? Quite a bit of you are still here. What is your takeaway? Bianca, anyone in the chat if you want to? Oh,
First,
there's a
so
lot
no,
going on in the chat.
there has been mostly people thanking you, so it's
No, you're so
nothing,
welcome.
no questions so far. But if Jules or Umer want to say something, comment something, you can. You should be able to unmute yourself. I asked Burgess to write this in the chat if what we saw today is kind of if the questions were answered, or if there are any other questions. And anybody else who wants to ask a question or just give some comments and feedback, you're again welcome to raise your hand and let us know how we can make these presentations also better if something was missing. So
Wonderful. Bijas Burgess says, on point. Yay! Thank you so much. And Bianca, is there anything else that I could answer for you or for Agent Locator? I think it was a great topic. When I was asked to do this, I found it to be quite interesting because I never really thought of how much we do when we're dealing with. Jen, you could take the screen down so I'll show my face as we go say goodbye. Thank you. So I thought about I had to dig in and kind of like recall or just kind of reminisce or and go back on 23 years of being in the South Florida area and how many people that I've had and still have. And it's quite interesting to see. Can you share your name? Okay. The name of my books? Okay. Somebody write it in there. 5 steps of the sale. The 5 steps. Jen, can you get a link to the book on Successful Business
All right.
Academy? Yeah, drop it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So, here's what I have to tell you. Dealing with the second home buyer is something very different, and you should have gotten that in the past 45 minutes, because as you could see, it's not easy. And don't get discouraged if they're taking so long to make a decision. The most important thing is keeping them in your CRM. Agent Locator has a phenomenal CRM with great AI technology that picks up on your clients looking at a certain area and switching to another area. And I love it, because Agent Locator, and Bianca, you could talk about it. How does that work? And why does it work? Because the CRM just kind of see them going from Ottawa over to Toronto, from Fort Lauderdale to Miami or Coconut Creek, and it just start to say, "Hey, did you think about this?" Am I lying, Bianca? Tell them. How does that work?
No, no, you're not lying. Definitely no. But with the agent locator or CRM, I hope all of you know, and those who may not be clients as of yet, you can also send handpicked listings, so you don't have to rely just on the automated listing emails which go out. You can also go ahead and handpick listings for your clients or prospects or leads, whatever, and send them in an email or in a text message. So you can quite be very particular when it comes to these properties you send them, and you can also personalize those that email and text message with the handpicked listings. So that way you can go even better than just what's automated. And I hope you also know like the great amount of filters we have, so you can filter through all of the properties and really kind of help the agents find the properties, the clients find the properties they're really looking for.
There you go. Very good. Thank you, Jen. And so, one important thing that you must realize when you're dealing with, and obviously we might take it for granted, but don't. This second home buyer should be in your CRM. They should be getting a birthday greeting. You should know that, because there's ways to do that. I think I talked about that last time. And then you should be sending them like a monthly newsletter. And all of this happens from Agent Locator, from my system. I know how to program it. Bianca could teach you how to program if you don't know. But you could send them a birthday greeting. You could send them a monthly newsletter. It is so phenomenal. And then connect with them on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media platform, LinkedIn, but in particular, whatever they are, let them be part of your family business page. Of course, I don't let them come onto my family page. I might be at the beach with a shirt off and all of that stuff. I don't mix it up like that. Keep it in the business. And on my business page, I show my daughters or my dog, things like that, and along with the business and new listings and things of that sort. So this is a great thing for you to do, is to nurture these people and take care of them. And you get a lot of referrals because they have no one to really you have no one to compete with. When you win a second home buyer and you get them in your corner, you don't have much of a competition unless you screw it up. So, Bianca, what are your final words? I truly enjoyed this.
Thank you so much, Paul. I know you're the expert in the second home market since South Florida. I think it's eponymous with second homes and vacations and everything. I just wanted to add to Burgess. So Burgess, since I guess since financing, maybe you mentioned that he may have issues with financing. We also do business with a lot of mortgage agents. I don't know if you knew that, but if you join our Facebook group and maybe just ask a question there, you can maybe connect with mortgage agents who can help your client find the financing they're looking for. It's a great way, actually, on one like in actually nearby. So if you ask around, just ask a question on the group if there is any mortgage agent, I don't know in which area you're doing business at, which can help me out, or maybe another real estate agent has a good mortgage agent to recommend. So in case financing is really the problem and you may be stuck with it, this kind of comes as a solution to me. Yeah, and so
Yeah,
Paul,
you're
thank
breaking
you
up.
again for the session. Yeah, I
You're
think my
so welcome.
internet is also my internet is not
Yeah.
so good as well. So
Yes, yeah. I tell you,
tonight,
today's technology.
technology has like no,
Yeah.
it's the
Wow.
heat
You're
wave.
so welcome.
So
Hmm.
thanks everyone for tonight. Paul is gonna have another session next
Next month in July. Yeah. Tell them what it is. What am I going to talk about? Because it was really good. I remember you mentioning that. Why don't you give them an
automatically by
introduction?
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell
I
us.
can certainly. Yeah, next month we were thinking, because everybody thinks summer is really slow and nothing is happening, and kind of agents are dragging and get a little bit discouraged by the numbers. So Paul next month is going to show you how you can use these kind of empty months, July and August, to fill your pipeline for the fall. So how you can prepare with your CRM system, with your leads you currently have in your system, how you can really work these leads to prepare for the fall market and for winter and the beginning of next year. So that's going to be our topic for next month, and we're really excited about that. We're going to send out the registration soon, so look out for that.
You are so welcome, Julius. Thank you so much. Excellent class, she says. Wonderful. You need to reach me. You just go to paulratkinson.com. Paul R Atkinson. Take care, guys. Bianca, I've got to run. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
All righty. Bye. Thank